his shift, 40% of the time he's in Franklin. So that's how that works. Our schedules work, if a deputy's on working, he's gonna be here Monday and Tuesday this week.
Yeah.
He'll be off Wednesday and Thursday. Then he's gonna be back Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that following week. Your other deputy, which is Trevor Pichettino, if he's working, different than Jake, he's only gonna be here Wednesday and Thursday this week. The following week, he'd be here Monday, Tuesday, he's gonna be off Wednesday, Thursday, and then he's gonna work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what I'm saying is deputies have every other weekend off, is kind of the easiest way to look at it. What I don't like that I've been dealing with, that we have screwed up, I don't think is as easy, that, I don't know how to say it the right way, but Pichettino's working 60% for Coquitlam, and then he's 10% in Fraser, and then he's 30% general car. Great for me, great when I do the contracts and get with the supervisors in the townships, because it makes sense in my head, makes sense eventually in everybody else's head. But if you're that car and you come on, where am I going? And if you're that sergeant sitting there, when they hear Coquitlam, Fraser, general, they hear general. A general car can go anywhere in all 442 square miles of Big County. So for a sergeant, it makes it real easy to, hey, Bangor needs a backup, grab Trevor, he's into Bangor.
Yeah.
So when the undersheriff looked at the stats, that's what we started seeing. Jake's stats are pretty healthy. And at first we're looking at Trevor's and we're like, this doesn't make sense. Well, when we pull Trevor countywide, his stats come right back to where they should be. When I say stats, I would look at them. I wouldn't necessarily dig into them, because stats can just, it's so fake with what we come up with. Like, he might have one call today, but like I was telling you, Brad, I mean, one, we had those people came and were putting skimmers on all the Speedway and 7-Elevens. They put skimmers over the credit card readers, and then they were Bluetooth in the parking lot. There's a lot of those. So I mean, that whole day with an arrest involved in it, you only got one call today? Lazy.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of this guy. Where she could go out and be doing business checks, building inspections, liquor checks, and make a bunch of traffic stops. Wow, 78. Now we look busy in Coquitlam. Like me and the undersheriff always joke, I want Coquitlam stats to be all zeros. I want it just that we are so good with proactive patrol up here that nobody does anything wrong and all we're doing is burning gas in Coquitlam. That would be the dream. So I don't, the stats are what are we actually measuring, because if there's an arrest and stuff, it obviously gets a lot more entailed. So what I would ask, or for when you guys do end up getting together and making decisions on some of this stuff, what I'd like to try is taking Jake and leaving him alone. But if he starts, he's here in Frankenless, and that's bad, because I know, I get your concern, he's driving through Monitor Township, waste of time, waste of space. Maybe crime isn't knowing boundaries, and maybe he's following somebody that left Coquitlam or coming in. I'm not that concerned about it. What I don't like is partnering you guys with Bangor Township, partnering you guys with Monitor. Those are our busiest two townships, where that's where your car's gonna be all day. I mean, he's assigned here, but for the command, they're gonna be going, yeah, well, you're Monitor Coquitlam, you're gonna be in Monitor. And with Myers, Menards, I-75, US 10, the industrial park, all those things out there, we're busy. What is it? How many calls in Monitor we had? 5,000 something, did you say?
5,500.
And then Coquitlam was at?
1,000.
1,500.
1,500. Yeah.
So I mean,
Same.
those numbers speak for themselves.
And Troy, I think the confusion was that me and you talked about, the stats that we've been provided, everybody at this board, we get the general car and the contract cars. The stuff that I shared with the board was from Terry Spencer himself, and it only showed their contract cars, so that's why it was comparable. It did not show the general with it like we get. So that's why our numbers, Charlie, me and you talked, they're comparable, but they're not really. It's they're so elevated. We wouldn't
else,
see.
you guys are all here. You want to know everything going on in Coquitlam. You don't care what Jake Richardson alone does in I mean, if I came in and had questions, Yeah, it might have happened on nights, a day, it could be a day off for him, it could be anything. You want the whole picture of your township, that's what you're in charge of. So, every one of the townships, when we do that, we put it out, cause you're still gonna get, and it's like I say, you know, some are concerned we should have car and night shift. You have that, your contract with us, it's, one of our guys that was on the Marine Patrol kind of explained it as, it's like a country club with us. If you get a homicide today and call Colin, you're gonna get every single car, cause as you know, we will pull your call calling car, we'll pull any of those township cars, if something major happens, they're gonna get there till they can secure that scene, and then they're gonna come back to call Colin. And that's just like mutual aid with fire, I mean, if something's big enough, I don't care, you know, sorry I took your guy for a little while, we got something major enough to go. So, when they go out, that's just kinda how that works with the generals, but your whole township you get the picture of, not just a deputy, and it's the as far as like the country club thing, our detective bureau is coming, that's included with that. If they get a big case up here that does happen at night, or fraud, or something that they can't deal with, your deputies you right now got a bonus person that's working that case. When we're not here like that, we'll respond to in progress calls, I mean, that's part of everybody's paying taxes, what you're getting is that extra when stuff's happening throughout the day. People are seeing cars, trying to slow cars down in the area, and it's just, it's a big package, and it's a lot of liability that just goes back on the sheriff's department, but we're gonna be here if something happens at night too. It's a lot of those little calls that happen during the day that we don't think are a big deal, are a big deal to the person that's calling 911. And they don't wanna wait till, well, you know, at 6 o'clock tonight, we'll have a car coming in, that just doesn't fly with them. We want, and that's what I want from the sheriff's department, is quick response times. So, just the way it goes, that's why we partnered you up, though, like with Frankenless, with Jake, is Frankenless is, it's almost like the exact same thing opposite, because I mean, Colin's a lot busier than probably Frankenless is. So yeah, you got that travel time in between. But what I wanna do to fix some of this is, I think if we take Jake Richardson's working Monday, so if he comes in, and I don't care which way it starts out, but I think his very first 6 o'clock, boom, hit Franklin Township, and from 6 in the morning till 10 o'clock, you're in Franklin Township. Something happens in Colin, go to Colin, then return back to Franklin till that 10 o'clock hits. After 10, he goes up here into Colin, and he stays here from 10 in the morning till 6 at night.
60% of his time.
Yep.
That's what you're paying
Yep.
for. Which
And
is
do
7
that-
hours out of a 12-hour shift.
Do that Monday and Tuesday, so you guys will know that Richardson's starting out there, finishing with you. Then when he comes in for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, start here and run, you know, till 2 o'clock, and then the end of your shift, go in Franklin's. But again, something happens at Colin, shoot back this way. If we take Fraser out of the equation, and with that other car only have Pichitino working here in general, that would be the exact same thing. He starts his day in general car and runs that till 10 o'clock, and at 10, he's in Colin. His next rotation, start Colin, finish your day general. Is that, that's very confusing.
Where's the cost there that you're, because right now we pay 1.2 officers.
We keep it just like
Keep
that.
it.
It would stay the same with 60/60. It's just, you know, if we cut them down, it would be hard. If we increase it, if you thought, man, we just gotta have somebody, we want everyday full coverage, then it would increase. But I think if you leave it the way it is, you got a car every single day of the week. Because when we look at it and you say, let's just do one, okay. Again, Monday, Tuesday's gonna be here, you're not gonna have somebody this week, Wednesday, Thursday, you have somebody Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The following week, they'll look pretty good. It's gonna be, you know, pretty scattered. This way you guys know you have a car on every day. And if we haven't said before too, cause I know I haven't talked to all of you with this, if Jake has another baby, his wife does, and he goes off, we then come to the board, we'll come to you and ask, hey, do you want us to backfill this? He's gonna be with his wife on maternity leave, and he's gonna be off for 30 days. Do you want us to bill you? Not bill you? Cause we can backfill it with another deputy that would just fill his spot for that time. We have to fill the township jobs, so we'll take a general car, stick him in here. But we give you that decision if you're like, now we'll run 30 days with nobody, then county doesn't charge you for that. Am I missing any of those?
No,
big
that's
points?
that's a good point. So we've had that happen in Portsmouth Township and Canning Township where they were out for an extended period of time and they just didn't get billed. Still covered it, I mean, we responded, but they just didn't get billed.
It
This
was just
one
like
was 60
vacation, we don't do that, you know, because they do get their vacation time and we
Right.
don't do anything big with that. But if they're off or they get in a car accident or something happens, the other thing, and I know I've said this to you guys before, I hate our contracts. They are so confusing and it's ridiculous. We bill you for a crashed car, and I will have board members and supervisors call and say, like, how do you know we're gonna crash a car this year? I'm like, I have no idea why the county puts that on there. They do that every single time. We have never billed a township for a car. If they smoke a deer today, they go back to the department, if they're not hurt,
There's another car.
get in another car and they come right back out here, and Calcon doesn't. But when you're looking at that list, you're like, stuff right here, damage repair and crashes. And then you go through that and it's like a gun. And like I was telling you, I mean, they might get 2 guns in their entire career. We don't change guns all the time. But if you're a new board member and you're looking at that, you're like, why are we paying $500 every year for a gun? You're not. It's that true up where they only bill you for what it is. Basically, you don't pay for a car, you pay for a gas card. And so no matter what car is here, that gas card follows it, and that's what Colin pays, is the gas that goes in that vehicle. What am I missing? You do a lot of that budget stuff.
That's pretty much,
Does that kind of make sense?
the
with
budgets
what-
are always the budget's a worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And I think,
that's a
I
good way
mean,
to
we
say it.
talked, it's a worst case scenario, that's the, and if you get a deputy who only has 2 years on, the budget comes out with a top down deputy. But if you get a deputy with 2 years on, they're making $5 or $6 less an hour, whatever it might be. And you're only getting charged for that, maybe they only have a single health plan, instead of the family health plan, or just a single plan. So budgets are worse, you'll never pay over that, and that's why you'll see a refund typically at the end of the year, or the beginning of the next year, the following year, does that make sense? Yeah, it's always a worst case scenario, and they, as he indicated, they put everything in there, and what's not even applicable.
Yeah, it's it's brutal, and it's really hard if you're a new board member because you're coming in trying to look at it. And if you read what the county does, I get confused with it because I'm like, why are we putting all this on here? Why don't we just put, here's what a deputy costs. Ask the board if it's good or bad. You know the coverage. You know we're not paying for cars, but we do make it a little complex. So I apologize for that. Is there anything I'm missing, or do you have questions, anybody?
You wanna go first?
No, you go ahead. I think yours will answer some of mine.
So essentially, what I'm getting from you, and this is more of an explanation than we've ever had in the past. This is only ever day shift. We're only ever getting township cars for day shift. There's no additional coverage at night. They don't change up their shifts at all. No kind of swing shifts or anything. It's only daytime
Your
coverage.
township deputy is dedicated to the day shift, yep.
Okay.
Because they're on, and I think it's been explained, but they're on every day. They're about both rotations.
Okay.
So you should be getting
Right.
7 hours, or a little over 7 hours a day per day, minus vacation, sick, and all that kind of stuff.
And
Okay.
the reason is just the call volume on days, and I don't know, did we say that in here already,
I
what the
think
number
Brad,
is?
I think we don't have Brad, but,
Do we say it in here?
no.
So what's the number? It's, what did we say, 800 on nights?
So in Monitor Township, there was talk about putting a night car on. Doesn't make much sense because there's only 800 calls for the month. Not for the month, I think it was a 3-month period, I think it was a quarter I did it.
Yeah.
And it was 800 calls at nighttime from 10 at night till 6 in the morning. And during the day, there was 3,400 calls
Right.
during the day, so it's
Okay.
4 to 1. It makes
Okay.
no sense. And our night shift covers Calcon Township.
Right.
And night shift deputies.
So there's cars out, there's still ones coming.
Right.
It's just you guys, you're gonna have your people complaining more if they're not on, I mean, more calls are coming in during the days.
Yeah. No, that
If you
makes
said
sense.
that though, if the board got together and said, hey, we absolutely want a car on night shift, or we're doing something different, we can do that now. I couldn't back when we were down 8 deputies, but we're at that point. But that's what started all these conversations, and we had 911 pull on, you can just see the spike is all day shift,
Yeah.
so.
Which makes sense. I just wanted to make sure I was understanding that
Yeah.
properly. So essentially, if we were to say want to do 100% for one deputy, we'd basically just have to ride his days off,
Mhm.
and we'd have to get covered by a general car
Mhm.
on his days
Correct.
off.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys answered most of mine with the thing. And we were just looking at it as savings. I never thought of Meyer. I never thought of Menards and shoplifting during the day. And I figured it was general and state police at night and during the day. Like my car got stolen, so I had state come out. But Yeah, there's a lot goes into it that you don't ever think about.
There's a ton, and it's the schools, and it's the roads, and it's same thing we said. Even with some of them that are looking at putting one on night shift, pick that right, because you know we get an ice storm or something comes through. We don't just get one slide off.
Yeah.
So there's one crash, and we'll have the traffic cars. The other thing for your fire department, sometimes we've had with 2 townships where they're questioning, we don't see the township deputy on crashes. We just don't see it. Perfect. We want them clear to respond to calls. We have 416 cars that do traffic enforcement and crashes. So usually like Berg or Deming or who it is right now, that's our go-to if we can send them and not have our, you know, township cars tied up on a traffic crash. That's what those cars specialize in. So just so you ever hear that, like we're not seeing our guys on the crashes, but we know they're working today. Why do we get? That's by design. Those are 416 traffic cars that are coming.
So you had mentioned staying at 60% with the car that we've previously shared with Fraser for their pittance, their 10%. How exactly would that work out? I mean, are they just not going to do it, or are we just going to kind of say we're not interested in partnering
unless you
with
guys
you?
want to buy them up. No, don't buy them.
No.
No, what we're
Well,
gonna
we
do-
could put it on a credit.
Like our
maybe we could give it a
K9
credit.
car is like a general car too, and he's up that way. He actually is the only person in the department that has like a take home because of the dog. So like that's close on his way. We're like, hey, you know what? An hour a day, boom, Fraser's right there. So I mean, we talked to the county. So I mean, we can just take that off you guys, make you, because then then everything makes sense. You're 60/40 every day. You just know what the deal is. You know you got a car 60% of the time every single day, and my only thing, I just want to flex it where it rotates. So they're Franklin start in the morning for the first 2, just so people don't get used to like, there's never a car out here at 7 in the morning, you know, or whatever it is. It'll just keep that changes coming up where we're seeing cars.
So you recommend we stay with what we had? It's going pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're, you know, taking Fraser out, Fraser out.
Yeah, the one we just talked about putting back on, we're talking about now. If that's what you recommend, like I said, we just kind of, savings is savings until you actually hear from the horse's mouth.
Yep.
And like I said, I never even dreamed of, and when he called me, he's like, yeah, they got the shoplifting. And I was like, yeah, it's a lot of time.
Oh, winter, go January,
Second business.
go January US on I-75,
Yeah.
every morning. The Minor Township cars out there for hours.
Yeah, US
And
10.
you look community-wise, funding is your problem. So, I mean, I'm not sitting here trying to, you know, I know some things just can't happen. But when you look back, I mean, you look at Bangor with like, they got 5.5 full-time they put in there. And then I started thinking, like, Essexville City has 8 full-time officers. Hampton Township has 9 full-time officers. And you start dropping that, you look at the population of some of those places, I'm like, holy cow, you guys are big. You know, and so, you know, you're numbered, what, 3 or 4 for us, I think. So it's still a big area to cover. And when you take a town, and I'll start shutting up, I'm sorry, because I know you guys got other stuff, but when you start thinking you have a cop on, that's great. If you have a domestic, we need another car.
Correct.
You know, they're not going by themselves, so now we're waiting to get another car in. We start peeling some of these out of the townships. Now we need 2 cars to free up to get into calling to take care of a bad crash or, you know, whatever else is domestic or something else that's going on. So it's, I think as long as we have somebody every day, but I can't imagine skipping days or going backwards. Not with, this is the worst road in the whole county you guys have. I mean, 13 is terrible. I didn't want to come up here.
I don't like driving it every day either.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
live it. It's just, and we've talked about that before. I mean, they get scared making traffic stops on it because I mean, you're kicking your car out, you're stopping another person, putting them in jeopardy. The one person texting, you gotta, you know, it's terrible.
So here's $1 million question.
How do you fix that?
How, you know, I talked to MDOT about, you know, why did you guys put a bike lane on both sides when you could have put a turn lane in? The people
100%.
pay on the gas tax, and Brad will tell you how well that worked, because the guy at MDOT doesn't talk to me no more. But, you know, I said, I'll get you a petition with the people all along M13 signature. And I was already told MSP has no trouble signing that petition.
Yep,
The different officers that I've worked with at the crashes, they're like, we'll sign that in a New York second, man.
Anybody would. Nobody
Because
likes
it's so
us.
dangerous.
We lose so many people on that road.
And, you know, and I told him, I said, so, you know, a couple years ago we lost Wes that lived over on Loria. We lost a kid that hit the back of the Mr. Chips truck, and we lost Aiden. He said, well, who's it? He acted like he didn't know that those people even died.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, you know, you have enforcement money that could help. Because-
They don't wanna drop dime for what it's gonna cost to put a turn lane on, but the
He
problem is you have
told
no
me
escape, there's
His
no escape on
enforcement
that road.
money is for construction zones only. He is not enforcing the speed anywhere. That's what MDOT told me.
Really.
His money that he gets from the state is for that one purpose and that one purpose only. You ever think of putting that speed sign thing out here on M13?
They'll get hit. Yeah, no, we put
it up there.
We've done it
You
before.
can put it on the ridge out in front of my place, that ridge.
Yeah, no, we.
And
that's
you can even plug it in my house.
We got another
I
one
don't
coming,
care.
so
You
we'll
know?
have two of them. But yeah, it needs out there. But those are scary too because you get people locking up the brakes down, adding to the equation when they see that.
They're
Well,
focusing on it.
Especially when it flashes.
Yeah, when it's, you know, when
We're
the
trying to see
vision's
the
over
road
there.
down there,
you know,
right.
Well, I've seen it on 7 Mile,
Yeah.
and
They work
well,
good
she
on
lives
those
up there,
bikes.
and right by that corner, I swear to God, they see if they can hit 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Crotch rockets know you won't pursue them, so they just take off like bad out of hell.
Yeah, that's bad.
But what else is on your mind? What else?
No, that was it. I never, like I said, but if you got it figured out where we pretty even coverage, if it ain't broke, I don't think we should fix
I
it for
think
10%.
I think you'll see an increase too with what we're doing. And again, I'm not trying to make excuses for it, but I'm not blaming Fraser either. It's just that car that's not right. You know, so you got a new person that jumps in and it's like, wait a minute, what am I? I'm 60, 40, 30, 10, 20. You just answer the call. You know,
Yeah.
and we look
The
at it
designated
and-
times will solve that problem.
So,
Yeah.
so if I'm hearing this right, we can enter into the same contract that we did with Frazier, with you guys, with the general. Is
Yeah, I
that,
don't even. You're not
or is it
even
just
in
pay-
with Fraser? They're
No, they
billing
aren't.
Fraser
No.
separate. We just ponied up that car together. So it'd just be like if you said, "Hey, we want nothing to do with Franklinless anymore. I don't have another general I could connect you to, or I would do that." That might not even be better for you yet. There's just like those are just they're just billing columns. So Fraser does. I mean, nothing will change. They'll still pay their 10% of the county, and we'll still make sure one of the general cars goes up that way because we have one now that I can split that way. But for you guys, you just know every day you have 60% coverage in some capacity.
Still get the
7
same
days
service.
a week. Yep.
okay,
You'll see an improvement, I think. But
okay. Well, we know who our deputy is up there now.
we get hit with that sometimes at the door when they walk in, and I'm like, who is it? I'm like, I don't remember their first name because we got so many new people right now, which is a good
Oh
thing.
yeah, and then we
It's a
have the
change.
jail too, you know, we have 40 in the jail on top of the 40 on the law enforcement division, so, yeah.
Are you good with all
And-
that stuff?
yeah,
Yes,
and
sir.
just so everybody knows, Chris is actually a resident here in Coquitlam.
Love the township,
Me too.
love where I live.
Probably hasn't paid his taxes yet.
Huh?
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
I can check
I
if
wrote,
you
I
want
wrote
me
the
to.
check all right.
You did? Good job!
He does
Yeah,
that.
go through.
I just
appreciate
want to
that,
spend
right?
3
I do.
minutes with this if
Yep.
I can. So I run around a lot, and I've been in a lot of the churches, and I've been at all the, well, here even on the Division of Aging with their senior stuff. I hate calling it senior citizen or senior safe stuff because really it applies to everybody. I had these cards back in the day. If a deputy took a complaint, they gave you a business card with a number on it. Oh, that's great. Well, if something really big happens, they didn't know, so I put my great picture on here. And now what they do is these are folded up. They're in their pockets. The downside is I'm on these with the Troy Cunningham, so I get a ton of people that'll call and say like, "This accident report's wrong. You know, you wrote it." And I'm like, "I absolutely was not on that crash. I guarantee you. You're looking at this." I said, "There's a spot, and you'll see that's where the deputy's name is." So they put it there with the complaint number. I started handing them out the senior safe stuff, and they disappear, and I'm like, it's because I got a good looking picture. But that was not it. It's because I didn't think there's no phone books.
No.
And so
Yeah.
what we tried to do, and I wish I could have made it bigger, but it's all these numbers that people need to call. I know we talked about this. And so they take those just because that's like a new phone book. And whether it's scams or anything we felt was important in the county is on these resource cards. So I have those. This is simply what we call a green card, and it's just a business check. But sometimes you'll have people call and say, like, is something wrong because we had this on our door, are we supposed to do something with it? All this means is that exact time, at that time, you know, somebody walked that property, it was secured, it was safe. So that's a green card that they'll just put out there and leave. These have been a real big deal, the magnets. Most of the calls our guys are going and ladies are going on right now are check the well-beings. And you know, we get in a house, somebody falls down, busted hip in the basement, nobody's got a landline, so they can't call 911 right now. And if somebody's unconscious or something, we go to the refrigerator, we're hoping one of these is on, and this is them, you know, inside their home with what they're comfortable on telling us, like, who to call, you know, the save time and emergency. The fire used to call them, like, they had a name for them. There was some type card they used to do, but
Has like medication, allergies. that
anything
kind of
they
stuff.
want to put,
Yeah.
well, at least we know who, if somebody's unconscious or deceased, like how to start stuff happening. So I'll just, some of this, if you want it, I'll just leave so you kind of see for reference. This seems common sense and dumb. If you go through it, I guarantee you, myself included, there's always something I look at and I'm like, oof, yeah, that's a good idea. And it's just a home safety checklist. So we go through this with them too when we do the, you know, and I can do that up here anytime you want. If you wanted to have one and call Colin, I would come in. It takes probably about an hour and a half if I don't get a ton of questions. And then run through them. And then that's our major thing. People were getting upset, and I'm not busting Banger, I'm not busting Glenn, because I tell them this right now. You know, put your stats online, put your stats online. Well, who reads stats? Probably more bad guys than anything else, or somebody that's concerned. But then all of a sudden they're looking like, geez, you know, Colin's the third most dangerous, you know, area we have. I don't want to live there. So I understand your reasons for whether you post stats, don't post stats. Because like Glenn said that, and I thought, you know, that does make sense. You know, as soon as he's looking at Bay County, I'm going to look like I have the worst crime statistics. So you can see it, but the public doesn't know, and they want to be educated on a lot of that. So I'll say that to them. And one of our guys wanted this neighborhood watch stuff, and we started talking about it. And I said, as long as you're not a vigilante, you know, I don't want you busting down the back door with a shotgun, holding somebody at gunpoint out in the driveway till the cops get there, just because, you know, it's a kid driving back from somewhere. These just go in their windows. I didn't think much of it. It's almost like an alarm, but it's neighbors watching neighbors. So they're putting these up, and I mean, bad guys driving down a road, and if they see 2 or 3 of these, they're thinking, these people are at least paying some attention. Maybe we'll
they
go
talk
to another area or something. I would hate to guess how much we've spent and how many of these we've had. It's got to be over 700 that are out. I mean, these people grab these, and our deputies are actually like, yeah, we actually are starting to see them in windows sometimes. So the neighborhood watch is just that. The thing I say to the seniors, because what I found out is they get worried about retaliation. They see something they call, and they're worried that car is going to pull in their driveway and they're going to get retaliated against. So we encourage them just to call the non-emergency 911 and just say, hey, I want to stay anonymous. You know, I don't need a car here. Have the deputy call me, or I got something to report. And that's kind of put them at ease. I never thought of that, but you know, you can just, when you talk to them, they're like, I saw stuff I just didn't want to call because I don't want them coming back and doing that to me. So, and these, if this goes, or if you're interested in me doing something up here, I bring all that stuff, and then I'll leave it here where, you know, people want to come in, because I'd like to eventually be able to say, hey, if you want to go pick up, just go to your township hall, you know, in whatever you do. But that's as short as I can make that. It's just some good information, and I honestly have failed for a few years because I thought, that's stupid, nobody's going to care. And every time I do, when there's 4 more calls, like, will you come say that stuff here, you know? We talk about wasp spray, you know, just for defense in your home and stuff, and it's been huge.
Is this stuff gonna be at our October 18th senior?
Yeah, we're gonna have, I forgot who's coming up, or
Pichitina.
Is it Pichitina? We
And
can do
actually,
this.
what I'd like to do is if you want to schedule one of those scam things, then they can sign up then.
I would prefer that, because the only thing we did, like even National Night Out, we had some of this, well.
They're just grabbing them and going.
And they don't understand, because like with the people, when they come in, I say, what's suspicious? You know, in our days, a kid with a backpack was suspicious. That was weird. If he's walking down the road, that was weird. Today, every single kid's got a backpack. You know, I was spending the night at your house, and I just had a bad dream, and I want to go home, and I'm walking down the road, and all of a sudden, you know, you got cop cars swarming, you know. I said, but if that kid stops and he's, you know, looking at cars or you see it, yes, call then. And they're like, okay. Because I like to go through what suspicious is with them, kind of, and explain you can handle it, but it's just different for us. And I just said this in a CPL class. I'm like, we're not better than anybody else. We just have on bulletproof vests. We have a radio that we can call the whole wide, you know, we're part of the world's biggest street gang. And I'm like, it's not that you can't handle your house, but you don't want the liability of it. So that's just kind of the stuff we go over. So I really appreciate you guys giving us the time and
Appreciate you guys coming
Yeah,
in.
thank you for coming out.
Thank
It made
you.
a big difference.
Gives us a lot to.
Yeah, we weren't
You're
broke.
welcome.
We just thought we were saving.
Yeah,
That's what it simple come down to. 10% and 10%.
yeah.
And
I get it, but I think you guys are. I mean, and you're right in the middle of everything
Yeah.
where you are. I mean, as long as nothing happens, it's great.
yeah,
When something happens, you don't want to be like,
Well, and we have 2 highways.
Yeah.
13 is a highway, and 75.
yeah,
And 7 Mile seems to be becoming
That's what
a
I would too,
highway,
yeah.
because it's the alternate byway, as is Mackinac.
yeah. Garfield's you can move to.
well, any road that gets resurfaced becomes the highway.
That's
They are
true.
nice,
Wow.
and we got a lot of those right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to just get a hold of me in the next couple days, if you have a chance, and we'll kind of figure out if we can
So,
schedule something to have announced when
whatever you want,
Pitchino's
yeah.
there. That'd be cool.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
Hey,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
just
you.
give us a
Thanks for your
call.
time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Brian,
Brian, okay.
Fraser and Parrish.
Yep.
Thank you.
Now I'll feel bad.
911. 911.
Yeah, 911 Fraser. That's my address.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's where all the emergencies happen.
Never forget that.
Car sold, you know,
Yep.
it did terrible for our theft ratio.
It happens.
Have a good night.
All right,
Yep.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Okay, township rental agreement.
Anybody wanna?
Now, are we talking about implementing these right away or after we update?
Well, if we keep it the way it is, we keep eating the cost of the security.
Oh, that's not bad then. I didn't know if we were planning this all swing out at one great time. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I.
But we can't lose.
Honestly, I would like to see it effective immediately as possible. That's why I like brought it up so
Nope.
long ago.
No,
But
I'm
because
down.
the
I
the
just know you
security
really
thing
got
is-
hosed the last
The
meeting.
security thing is
see
starting
that, Brad?
to we're in full blown. Right now, I mean, I think it's like every weekend we got a wedding.
Yeah.
Every weekend, so every single weekend we are eating security, which is way more than the $200 that it initially was back in the day.
Let's get it rolling then. So we
I
can talk
think-
about it at the next meeting then if we can prove it.
Yeah, if anybody needs any information or anything as far as like expenditures, revenues, anything like that, I've gotten all that. I gotten like a pricing together.
I really be honest with you, before I started here, I thought it was vacant most of the time, but every weekend this summer we've had something.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a person on the front desk, I think. Yes, ma'am. Can I help you? No.
We had a wedding there, and my son was supposed to pick up a dish, and he picked it up, and he put it by the card box.
He was here this morning.
Do we have the dish?
He came this morning.
I think he returned our
Okay,
cooler.
thank you, Charlie. This is kind of like a little bit of a pricing sheet that I have kind of put together to show, because I know that we were trying to give our residents a little bit more of a
Break.
than outsiders. I don't know, that's not a nice way to put it, but
Non-resident.
non-residents. So I kind of have here, security from 8 to 12 is $300. From 2 to 7 is $375. So it's more than that it was in the past. And then I have right here, basically how much is in red is like basically our take home after we pay, or after we pay them back their security deposit.
Yeah, maintenance, toiletries, paper
No.
towels,
After we give them
Yeah.
back a security deposit. So like if somebody was a resident and rented the pavilion, they're renting the pavilion for $50, but I'm giving them back $25.
Yeah.
So we're only taking $25 for that pavilion for, you know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
get you.
Yeah, so I
I
kind of
just
have
can't
it
believe
in,
it was
I kind of
costing
have
us
like
money when
the,
we talked last time. And it
Yeah.
just had been that outdated. And it was security every time. And now we got flushable toilets too, so we're really moving up.
Yeah. I will tell you all this. Supposedly, Dan was very disappointed and disgusted with the way the hall was left.
After that last wedding.
Yeah, Dennis said the same thing. They both have pictures of what they had to clean up.
So do we return the security
And
deposit?
it's getting,
You had gotten some information about the ones that require cleaning, right? That's like some of them require. I mean, I think probably several of us when we got married, you have to clean the
Our
hall
whole
up
wedding
before
This
you-
is-
Right,
yeah.
this is-
I mean, they
they-
just stay and clean versus us paying to clean.
yeah, this is picked up beer cans all the way around the whole building.
Yeah.
stuff
I think we
all the
should
way.
bill them for their time. Take it out of the
But that's
security
another
Just wanted
thing
you-
that
Yeah.
I addressed in the new
contract.
contract is to have a higher security deposit so people actually care to clean.
So they get it back.
And then if they don't clean, then that covers our
What's ours
janitor
now?
time.
200.
This moves
Yeah.
it to 200. Right now it's 160.
Yeah.
And this hasn't been updated in a very long time.
It makes
I just
However-
remember one of them we being at.
it makes the deposit 200, which I'm not making it. I don't feel like crazy compared to what if somebody were to leave that hall completely trashed and we had to have 2 janitors clean for 4 hours each. Like
It's covered.
It's covered.
Okay, so right now with what I have here, 2-day rental is $1,000,
Yeah.
which for a resident, which is what it is right now. Where do you
Right.
foresee the $200 deposit within that 1,000 like it is now?
Yes. So,
So-
we would take home. I don't like that word either, but we would take back we would keep $800.
Well, right now we're keeping 840.
We are keeping 840, but we're paying $300
Right.
for security.
In charging them 200 within the 1,000 versus having them just pay outright for security.
Right.
So what are we going to do to verify they actually have security? I know that you
They
did something
have
and
to-
it got,
They
it
have
got
to-
changed
Yeah,
a little
yes,
bit.
there,
So
there it is in the lease.
Is there other
And
companies around that does it?
There, not really, but the way that the Lake State Security has informed me how that they do it, we are the only ones that pay them. Every other person going there gets a contract with them, and then they send the contract to us,
Yeah.
letting them know that they are
That's how our
able.
events work in Saginaw.
Yeah, that they are able to go ahead and have alcohol on site.
Would you prefer to do it that way?
Yeah.
I prefer not to lose money every single
Yeah.
time that we rent
Right.
that hall
No, I
out.
mean, not
so
even-
however it has to
We
be
have
done.
to. They have to provide insurance and
They can't have
contract.
alcohol.
They can do it without security. They just can't have alcohol.
No.
If they want alcohol on the premises, they need security.
You ain't
That's-
getting away from alcohol out here.
Well,
Crazy pants.
I don't. I mean, I'm not. I really haven't seen enough to
Yeah.
say like, oh, I believe that alcohol in our venue is a bad idea. I don't see that, but I see
Yeah.
that if they want to go above and beyond and have alcohol and booze or whatever, have somebody come serve drinks, and they need security for that.
I
Just
agree.
because we're required by the state.
do we have, just a side note, I see capacity 400 here. Do
Yes.
we actually have anything fire marshal related there saying what the capacity is of the building? Because I thought that was required.
I
It
don't
was on
know.
it was right when you
the
came
back
through the
wall?
door.
I don't
Yeah,
know
to
if
the
it
left
got
there.
moved.
And an old framed.
It was.
I've seen a capacity in there somewhere.
I've seen the
Yeah,
capacity.
I was just
Trying to
curious.
I mean,
Well,
I
you said it's divided.
The bar had one capacity and the main hall had another capacity.
Well, we can go look at it.
Yeah, just just so we're doing them.
No,
it
I
the
don't
right
want to. I
way.
don't want to lose on it. That's perfect that we're not going to lose on it anymore. And then, like I said, when we finally get it up and it's a shining star and doing everything we want it to do, maybe we can revisit and get better pricing for
But
it.
as Lori said, I'm not moving the prices to the point where the somebody who would come in normally and had one before go, well, why did you raise this $1,000? I don't see it. The hall looks the same. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, I'm
It's,
okay
it's
with that.
not like
I
I'm
get
not
you.
pushing the.
No.
I'm not saying, oh, you have to pay for security, and on top of it, we're gonna push all these prices up also.
Yeah, I mean, with what you
You know?
referenced and stuff in your investigation, looking into all these different halls, we're still the most expensive hall out there.
Are we?
Correct?
Yeah, we're still pretty
still-
expensive.
I remember my buddy, but that was a barn too. We had to clean up. It was one of those 2-story barred
Yeah.
ones.
As
It
far
was
as a
$500
municip-
security
Yeah,
deposit.
as far as a municipality,
But we also have a lot of things that others don't. I mean, we have a full park connected to ours for
Yeah.
outdoor wedding venue areas. Like I know one coming up is going to be a indoor outdoor kind of vibe. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah, I was at one. Oh, here we put a beer tent behind the building. Your big tent. It's awesome.
yeah.
So on the 4th page where it says for township use, it says security deposit received, yes, rental fee deposit received. And then full rental fee received. That's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
And we already have enough confusion with dealing with what we were left with. This has been problematic for years and it's been mentioned for years, but it never got off the ground. However, I think that could be confusing as it's set up.
Yeah, I would
Isn't-
like for anybody to.
isn't this like the final stage where you get a deposit
Your checklist
and then your checklist where full
for
rental
her.
has
That's just
been-
for her.
Yeah.
So it says security deposit received. What she's saying is that the rental fee includes the deposit. So it says security
Yeah, but
deposit received, rental
people
fee
use
deposit
that
received.
deposit to hold the date.
to hold the date.
I get that.
Oh, okay,
I get
okay.
that. But what's the difference between the security deposit and the rental fee deposit?
Well, it's not.
See,
it's
that's
the
it. Just
security.
looks like
Yeah.
it's two separate things, and what you're telling me is it's one. So I think that's breeding confusion
So a
into
save
the
the date
document.
deposit is what we'd call it.
I think that
Lock the date
we would
deposit.
need to. Yes, I think
Because
we
I
would
thought
need
it
to
was
look
for
at
the
that.
security company. To be honest with you, but I mean,
Yeah,
Security
I just think that
deposit,
probably needs to be cleared up so somebody can look at this and understand right away how to mark this.
how much do you have to put down to save the date?
The deposit.
The whole
security
1,000?
deposit.
No,
No. The security
$200.
deposit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so those are just a little confusing.
Yeah.
Those two,
I mean,
the way that they're
Or
listed.
maybe we need a hyphen.
in,
Save date save / security deposit.
in addition to that, I would think that we would also need to put something on here regarding the return of the deposit, because usually the contract is what uses.
Yeah.
So we would need to know that it was actually checked and that we were looking at the condition it was left in.
That would be on this one though, wouldn't it? The after rental checklist.
But I think we're
That's
we're
for the
saying-
after rental checklist. I believe that's for the person themselves.
Oh,
not
is
for
it?
us.
Yeah, but they turn it into one of the guys to get their security deposit back.
I would like that to be turned in with the keys.
Yes.
Right.
That's how it should be.
We can put that in,
Yes.
turn in with keys, and someone can check it. One of our guys
Yeah.
or
Right.
us.
But I think for this township use, there needs to be a little part, so we're actually
Okay.
tracking
Yeah, I
if the
put the
deposit's
return
returned.
deposit on there. And
I also think we should be contemplating a larger security deposit because $160 is not.
I
Yeah,
agree.
even 200, I mean,
But I mean, I didn't
they
know
could do a
how.
lot of damage, right?
I didn't
Well-
know how
Well, and
far.
when we
to-
finalize and
23
get it
years
dealt
ago,
up.
we put $500 down to use Monterey Township Hall. 23 years ago.
Yeah.
No, and like I said, last wedding I was in.
Banger's
20 years ago,
$100.
it was 500. Banger's just 100.
Yeah,
How many do they see? I know you had the answers to these. It doesn't matter.
300.
Yeah. So they're close. They got a nice hall too.
They're kind of broken up a little bit.
I mean, there's
The hall seats 300 at Monitor.
a monitor.
So we're getting close. Anything's better than what we got where we were losing.
The rental fees are $450 for the auditorium, bar room, kitchen, basic cleanup for Monitor. Total deposit is $135.
Well, I know once upon a time they took more than
Monitor is $125.
Yeah, you've done them
$135
all. As long as we're protected.
For which one?
for
This is
Monitor.
I have monitor right here. It says
This is what's on their website.
But our hall is actually different than these other halls. Because when you rent some of these halls, there's no utensils, there's no pot and pans, and we have pot and pans and utensils. And if somebody walks off with two of our kettles, and you go to purchase new kettles, you just blew $165 to buy those big kettles.
So
surprised Kittles supplied.
There's a lot out there that we supply.
Yeah, it's a full, I mean, we supply a full kitchen.
so I'm like willing to take whatever notes or whatever.
I like it. Minus, like I said,
before the next meeting, and then that way I can kind of put everybody's together and put all the minds
mean-
together and.
My opinion is of the same, I think, to up the security deposit even above $200. I don't think
I
it's,
would
I
like
don't think
to
it's
too.
enough
I just wasn't
deterrent.
comfortable making these numbers
No.
all by myself.
And when
No,
we-
but I just,
Yeah.
we're trying to
Say
get
we're
to
doing
that,
it. Yeah.
it's just
when that's
discussion.
used as the money to save the date, some people is like, what's a couple
Yeah,
$100
what's
bucks?
or 500.
You know, but now if it's say it was $500 for a deposit, and you'd get it all back, and we go in there and you find out there's a couple pot and pans missing and things like that, and it's like, and there's
Or they're
damage like that
flushing
one
stuff,
time.
yeah, flushing stuff down the toilets that end up
I
being a
mean-
bigger issue.
Well, and that's what, that actually didn't turn out to be the issue.
Problem we found out.
That was definitely, they found the bad pumps. But when it comes down to it, my opinion, 500 seems, it's nice because it's half. It makes somebody be in a reality check. But when you look at some of the other townships, I mean, I would just be proposing, like a 350. But whatever you guys feel, I would like to see that upped to make people think. And then that makes us know that they're serious about these dates. I mean, $160 and you don't even make the date and you ruin somebody else's wedding. What's $160? And then Call Collins
Or they
sits
change
on a
it, maybe.
date.
Well, and then they,
Or the- yeah, that's what I
return.
mean.
If they
And then-
cancel, they
I'd
can
go to
return
a
anyway, so
350.
they're out nothing.
And I believe I put that also in the lease somewhere too. That if they only have so they can't cancel like the day
60 days
before
prior,
and get
yeah.
yeah.
So basically, if you're saying 350, then the proposed amount would go up to 1150,
For the rental.
Well, yes, it'd have to.
Yeah.
right?
It hasn't been touched in years, so we could baby step it, remodel, and then
Or
adjust
you'd-
Well,
accordingly.
if you go over there right now,
I mean,
when you go to leave here,
It's used every weekend.
well, no, I want you to go over there and see what it looks like, because this is what people are doing.
They're draping. the
They've
whole
got
thing
the
with
draperies
this
around all the walls, and all the chairs are covered. It looks beautiful. Even though we did not redo a thing, it looks beautiful. It's a dressed pig.
Yeah.
And that's what people are doing. They're putting all
What
of
I'm
that stuff.
saying though is right now we're not too uncompetitive even when you have to put in the legwork. And like I said, up until now, historically, we've donated money into it for security. So as long as we're covered right now, I think that's the most important thing.
Why
We're not losing.
don't we go with putting a drafted, whatever you can, Kayla, together with a drafted proposed amount to, like Lori was saying, does that mean raising the rent? Possibly. What if we raise it to 1,100, just
Yeah.
$100, and then we, replenish.
And then they
I would
get
like
their
for
own-
everybody
Should we
to
write it?
write down what they think.
How's that?
they're-
Yeah,
And then everybody turn it into my office,
Okay.
and then I can find the middle child and put it down on paper,
Sounds good.
and then I can bring it to the next meeting. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if even if you have a suggestion on the
How's
lease
this?
agreement itself, red pen it, give it to me. Let
How's
me.
this? Why don't we make it so that everybody's ideas are into you by Thursday? Is that
Next
fair?
Thursday, not this Thursday. Next, we have
That'd
2 weeks.
be the day that's the day the agenda has
Oh,
to be
okay,
done.
okay.
So, you
I
wanna say
am-
Monday? You wanna say Monday?
Yeah, Monday.
Okay.
Monday.
That way people
Monday.
have a weekend to.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody
So
good
turn
with
in
that?
ideas by Monday.
Okay, glad we got that
Thank
discussed
you.
and talked about. Waste contracts, we do have all of our waste contracts in. Jill called me today and just wanted to make sure that if there was any questions on, the services with waste management, that, if we did have any, she could answer them. I did tell her that the waste contracts are all in, so in the October meeting, we'll probably be opening all the bids.
Okay, hold on. First off, all 4 are sealed. We have 4, right?
Yeah,
Of course, we got priority and GFL and waste management Republic,
public,
right?
yep,
All right, and they're all sealed.
yep.
It's a little problematic to open them in a meeting. One, The rest of us don't get copies, so we can't really see what we're looking at.
And I'm
they're
going to
over the
be
main
working.
meeting.
I just want to speak freely because we're not like at a
Yeah,
real
right.
meeting, but I am going to be working a lot better at that. As soon as a bid is opened, I am going to walk around, make a copy for everybody at the table so they all have their physical copies.
Yeah, because
Okay.
this is a
Because for
big
legally, it
decision
needs to
for
be
us.
opened at. It needs to be opened
And-
at the meeting.
No, I
I don't-
agree.
And I need
Yeah.
to step
I
up
don't-
with making sure everybody gets.
I don't know necessarily. I'd have to call and get the logistics of MTA. But when we have a bid opening, like if you and her were here and all four were in and it closed on the 22nd, tomorrow you guys could go through and open them and scan them in for the meeting. The key is for them to be here at the same day and all bring the proposal, kind of stamped. It's not so much us opening in front of anybody, like the purchasing department does it at the city, and they'll have us come to an opening if we'd like to. You know what I'm saying? But usually it's opened, and then if it's a big one, then it goes to the board that following Monday or the Monday after. So it's more cut and dry. You know what I'm saying? So if we open them in front of them, I always wondered if we had to open them in front of them, or they had to be opened after the date. You know,
Well,
none
let's
accepted.
try opening them
Yeah.
like we have been at the meeting. Let me try and fix this problem with just making copies for everybody.
Okay.
Promptly at the time.
At the road commission meetings is all that I'm going off of. I have never seen any of those be not opened in front of the public.
In front of the public. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just know from what I deal
Yeah,
with.
the general
at the city.
manager opens them, and he goes through them, and if there's a discrepancy, he tells the three commissioners what the discrepancy is,
Copy. Okay.
and then
And
they
you
go
go
from
And-
there.
and
But
let's
they don't
try
they
it
don't have
next-
to accept it.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just open,
Yeah.
and then from there,
Okay.
you know,
And then
the next meeting.
if anybody, sees that I need to work on something or to tighten something up, please tell me.
No, I didn't mind. I usually
And,
bring the litter over.
And that, yeah.
I'm
I
that
mean,
guy.
I'm learning a lot from you guys.
I got
Like,
the knife.
I don't know what I don't know until I know that I didn't know.
No, we haven't historically had a big problem. We kind of flip through them, and we're supposed to talk about them and discuss them.
It's
Like the
just
one
when
had
you-
But I
9
can
trees,
tighten
one
up
had
my
11 trees,
Yeah.
one had 7 trees,
Right.
But there's
one
a
had
reason.
some miscellaneous trees.
It's real simple though, because 11 trees means they counted each and every tree.
Yeah,
But if it's one root ball,
that would be a tree for me.
that's one tree. But the other people were, oh no, there's a split here and it's below the knee, so that's 2 trees.
So
The
they
other
never
guy
do.
says it's 1 tree. That's what that deal was.
I know. We broke it down, but we learned that day. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
they were all a little different.
And I think that would have been a good day for me to make copies just for everybody to have in front of everybody.
Nope.
Yeah, so
I
I
know.
agree.
I'm sure I can still get them all in my office. I'm sure.
No, no.
they're in
Oh, I
my-
was
It's fine.
I was given a copy of them because I wasn't unable to be here. But rule of thumb, when we're sitting here, it does us no good if the
No,
bid's over
it's-
there and we can't see it. We can't do any comparison.
Yeah, anything to
ourselves,
tighten
so.
up my processes and procedures,
Yeah.
I'm definitely on that. So
Yep. So is there any questions for waste management with their services?
She did talk to us that night too.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
here.
So, and I don't believe I asked you this before. I apologize because there's a few of you. One of my concerns with switching the contract is that our special assessment is a mess. And unfortunately that has not improved. So I have talked to a couple of the other providers regarding this because essentially potentially making a switch for our provider gives us a little latitude to clean up some of the stuff that needs to be cleaned up where we're violating our own ordinance. Okay. So some of the others that I've talked to are kind of willing to take a little bit of a hit. I guess provide us a little bit of cover as we make that change. So the primary change is we're violating our own ordinance because for years they have allowed commercial establishments to pay the residential special assessment for commercial trash. Our ordinance does not allow that, but the assessment is exactly the same. So you can be a commercial establishment throwing away commercial trash and paying the same thing that I'm paying to throw away my milk carton. Not the same thing. So, are you guys open to that possibility of kind of working with us to be able to clean up some of the mess that we were left with when it comes to the pickup locations.
We will
that are established.
absolutely work with you, and if you are wondering if we will identify and say, this may be commercial, this may be commercial, and help you kind of, we do it everywhere,
Okay.
yes.
Well, I mean, you guys might take a little kick to the teeth. So we need a little help with that. That's what, I'm being honest with you, that they're gonna say, well, wait a minute, I've always had my trash picked up, and they switched to you guys, and now you're not picking my trash up. But we need somebody to run a little cover so that we can actually clean it up, because we were left with a mess.
Yeah, we've
You can
kinda
go up
taken
and down
it on the chin
M13.
in other communities, we're well versed in that,
Okay.
but yeah, we will help identify, and then we'll work through it
Okay.
with you.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because you can go up and down M13 on trash day and you see all these commercial enterprises, or go down to the beach road and, part of that one program process was you're gonna have a dumpster, and instead you have 4 trash bins there.
Or more.
Well, they've been blessed with the services that they have received up to this point, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. A little bit more than blessed in
Yeah.
that one case.
Yeah, because they kept doing this all the way up and through till we got elected, adding commercial assessments.
Oh my,
And
okay.
some got the bins and they were never assessed.
And now we're going into winter tax season, and there's all these random places that don't have assessments, that have trash cans, and I don't have any way of tracking that. That's the bigger issue. Even when people have been calling here and asking, that's not always going through my office, so I have no way of tracking who's
Yeah.
gotten cans and whether or not they have an assessment if I'm not being informed.
Do you have just an address list of who's getting the assessment right now?
Yes. I have a parcel list. I could work
Okay.
with it to try to get it to be an address list.
So
yes.
what's a really great way, immediate cleanup on it? We get the parcel list, we give it to our third-party delivery, who is Cascade. They deliver it, they're fantastic. And we can either have them, if it's not on the list, don't deliver it, and we verify it with you.
Mhm.
If it's a commercial business, don't deliver it and make a note of it. So that, at the onset right there, is immediate cleanup.
Okay.
So we would just work with you on how you would want them to handle it, if it's not on the list or looks like a commercial, and then within a week, it's usually cleaned up really well.
Okay.
And Jill, let me ask you this: have you ever had other areas assess commercial differently for those than residential?
Usually, commercial is not included in the
Okay,
residential.
good.
That's pretty standard. We have had some one-offs here that somebody runs an insurance office out of their house, and it's just nothing more than general household trash that the township has elected to include them. But we will do what you tell us to do. But generally speaking, anything more than like a duplex is considered commercial. And is
Okay.
managed differently, so.
Makes sense. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm here for any questions, but for clarification, bids are opened at the meeting on the 14th, assuming decision will not be made until November, right?
Correct.
And the contract is scheduled to start January 1.
March.
March. Oh, that's even worse for me. Okay.
We have plenty of time as
Yeah.
far as making a transition, so
Okay.
everything will go smoothly.
I'm looking at winter taxes. There's not going to be any way to clean up the disaster, so that's going to be fun.
Is there a better way is there a better time to do a contract that would work better with your?
No, I would want it to be sooner than
Oh.
March. That's the problem.
Gotcha,
That,
okay.
because I have to have assessments done in November. Like mid-November, I have to have everything set for assessments, and it's actually, I think, almost worse
And
than
I
it
think
was
right now
before.
we're actually
So,
losing money on trash.
We absolutely
We are
losing money on
subsidizing trash pickup to all residents or businesses.
Absolutely are.
Alright, so residents are gonna get.
Yes.
There will be an increase
There-
whether they
there
want
has
it
to
or
be.
not. It's not a good place to be, but it was never a good place to be. It needed help. 3
Charlie,
years ago.
Yeah, Charlie and I were on this for almost a year
Yeah.
before the election even happened, that this is a problem, that this isn't being
Yeah.
done right, and
Yeah.
it doesn't appear to be legal from what we could see.
And the
And
way it was set
it's
up,
nothing
they said,
changed.
if there's more than one dwelling on the property, cause I have more than one, there would be a second assessment because there's 2 kitchens on the property. Well, there's a problem with that, cause a lot of the houses all along the beach have second kitchens. Cause they have little guest houses over their garages.
Yeah.
Granny
Or-
fats.
And there's other things, because I was
It's a
not
real
on the
catch.
board, but going through this with these guys because of the fact that I was being charged, me and my wife, for that. I live on industrial property. And the past treasurer assessed without even letting us know for 5 years, assessed us, and we have a dumpster. We've never had a trash can.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the board thankfully voted to compensate, my wife once she found it out through a FOIA that the past
Yeah.
treasurer literally, without telling
Yeah.
us or anything, assessed us for 5 years.
And we've got people just up here, I mean, they've got 5 bins in their yard, but they're running a business out of the property.
Yeah.
5 bins.
Yeah, usually those are all outside of the resi contract. But if it's any consolation, several of your neighbors over the past few years have had to really
Similar. Or-
increase
Raise.
what they're charging residents just because.
I think we were
It
$40,000 over budget, wasn't it?
It's worse than that. It's worse than that with what we're currently paying. Because remember, when we collect it, like when I collected on the winter taxes, that's supposed to reimburse us for 2025. And obviously the expenses went up substantially. The amount was never increased in time for the winter bill. We can't do it again until winter. So we have a whole year of getting further in the red. When I collected winter taxes and paid them to that account, it basically put us in the black for, I think, maybe 3 months. And we went right back in the red again. So it's not enough. It should have been changed last year, but that was never anything that was brought forward, nor were we privy to the numbers to actually know exactly where it was, where we could even nudge it along. So, there was no way to fix it.
fix
It's bad. It's bad.
But now
It is.
it's gonna be made right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may
But
not be as quick.
I think it
but-
needs to be made right though, sooner than later.
Yeah,
And
that's,
not wait
so I
till
didn't
the
mean
next
to do it at
calendar.
a different time. I just wish we had a way to fix it before I have to do bills. 'Cause it's a
Only if you
mess.
had a time machine trash truck.
Yes.
Right, wouldn't that be great?
Mhm.
Yeah, that would help things a little bit.
Well,
I
I'm
see a
here-
movie. If it comes out, you're gonna see.
It's gonna be in
Mr.
Call.
Williams. Yep.
The time machine trash.
truck.
Yeah, I'm here for assistance, or even if you have questions on how it's done elsewhere, or how we've.
I'll
seen it
ask
done.
you this if you don't mind. Do you have a proposed ordinance that we can look at that you guys are comfortable with from anybody else?
Yeah, I can ask someone.
Because we need ordinance revisions all the way through this whole township, and if you know of something simplistic but makes sense
To us.
to us,
So,
I'll see
I
what I
guess
can get
the
to.
moral of the story is this.
Don't say it.
We have a trash pickup ordinance. It's what, 1987?
It's supposed to be paid quarterly.
And it was $20 a quarter. They used their own cans.
This is your current
Yeah.
ordinance right
That's
now?
what they've told
Yeah.
us. We've asked over and over. They did up. It went from 63
Ordinance
to
number
70.
63 or
No, it went from
68.
like, I think $15 up to $20 when they did ordinance 70. Never have redone it. We've asked over and over, have not located any new ordinance. Then all of a sudden, the special assessment appears, which should be based on Public Act 188. No record, can't find anywhere where
Nothing.
it transferred to a special assessment at all. So we are completely in violation of our ordinance, not only by charging it as a special assessment in a different amount, but also in servicing commercial, which the original ordinance very clearly says no
No.
trash service for commercial properties. And then when we asked about it, they made exceptions. That's interesting. For years and years, you made exceptions. So I don't think there was any legal basis of our special assessment that I have found. Because if it was in compliance with
There is
188, there are various
Friends and
steps that were
family.
required by law to be followed, and there's no
Friends and
track of
family.
that. Public hearings,
Well,
none of it. There's no track of
And
any of that.
the assessor's the
It's
one
a
that
mess.
clarified.
Okay, Yeah,
So it's bad.
you know, you're going to be assessed too because you have 2 kitchens on your property. That's what I was told. And then they went, and our ordinance specifically stated, if you had 2 houses on your property, say a mother-in-law's apartment or
Yeah.
something, blood, you
Grandfather.
can't charge a second. But they did, cause they didn't wanna target me, so then they charged another family, but we were able to right that wrong. That got fixed, thank God.
And this will get fixed too.
So now if we can, you know,
what's
any
good
help,
is that
But
you
if-
guys
if
can
you-
all fix it.
If you do have something though that we can look at, so the future's in our
I'll
hands, it
send you
ain't
a couple.
1987 we wanna keep yet.
Yeah. So you'll have to.
We don't wanna, on 30 years, change something,
Update
which
the
is close.
ordinance, I'm assuming, probably right around the same time as
Well, that's what I'm thinking, so that we don't have to,
possibly.
possibly go
Yeah.
around.
well, I think what they've done
Rules.
over the past is they've used resolutions versus ordinance.
We'll get it right.
But we
I
couldn't
promise.
find the
you guys will-
resolutions
We'll
to
get it
show
You've got
the
a good crew,
correction.
I mean, it'll all get fixed, and
Yeah.
we'll just plod through it together. I will send you a couple samples
Yeah,
of ordinances.
if you would, I'd appreciate
Yeah.
it. I'll share it with the board and when
Um,
we can get ideas.
in that same vein, our current provider, Republic, I did talk to the rep, and they were supposed to get me some information about the number of stops that they were actually making. I have not heard anything back from them. However, if you have a good contact at Republic, it might be worthwhile to ask if they have a track record of how many calls they've received. Hold on, how many calls they've received from this office to order trash cans for residences, because I think that's been a little too loosey-goosey. And I've asked a couple of times, like, what are you ordering trash cans for? Because you didn't
Who's
even
done-
tell me. You
who's-
didn't tell me to. I mean, I don't know if they're assessed. I have to
Who's-
go and look.
Well, and I have them looking into right now, the ones out on the point out there. So I think this week I'm supposed to know about that one, but I didn't know of any others.
Well, there's one in particular, and I don't know if it was ever canceled. They had trash cans requested for them, and once I found out about it and went and looked, there was an assessment, but there was also a change in ownership because it had gone to sheriff's sale, and the neighbor called and ordered trash cans. And they had previously had trash cans there. All of a sudden, the neighbors call and say, wow, they've never had trash cans, yet I'm getting reports that they did have trash cans. So why is the neighbor calling and ordering trash cans? Is that because there was a change in ownership that hasn't hit the county yet? I mean, these are questions we need to ask before we just call up and say, hey, drop them off some trash cans. There's more to it than that, and we need to be tracking a list
Yeah, I
of
didn't
who's getting
realize
them.
that. I didn't
Sam
realize
used
this
to
has
tell
happened.
Republic, we have, I remember somewhere like 1,745 or 1,785
Yeah.
stops.
And we've been
That's what we were
over-reporting
billed
that
for.
too. We've been over-reporting our stops as compared to who we're charging for some reason, which makes no sense because it just costs us more money. So does
That's why
anybody
we're
know
running
the
out of money.
accurate number of stops? We don't. That's why I asked Republic to give us that. How many actual stops are you guys making? They said that they would be able to track it. It would take them a couple weeks because obviously, you know, somebody might not put their trash out one week, that kind of thing. But I haven't heard anything back. I don't think they loved the task, but I also know that they want the contract. So I think you should probably be doing that because I specifically asked. You know, we need to know what the actual stop count is. And if they can give us information about commercials, I would appreciate that as well. Because we don't know how this is happening. You know, I mean, it could be that somebody grabbed a hold of Jim Bob's trash can, put it out at a commercial, and they just picked it
Well,
up.
they're trying to give me the name of who called them to authorize the cabins to even get it, because I wanted to know who called, because I had known previously there was a phone call that came in here requesting, and I think you're the one that told me about it, and I said, no, they're commercial C1. And it's not even on their tax roll, and here they're getting free services.
Correct.
So I do have, there's an email chain with Republic Services, and he asked me for 2 weeks, and that's got to be coming up.
Because down there, when
And
we
I sent him the
approved-
picture I think
when
you
we
sent
approved-
me.
Yes, I sent you the picture, and the site plan agreement was, the dumpster is on the parcel next to Pennix's, inside of
An
fence
enclosure.
enclosure, so it was not be
Really?
seen. That's where it had to be, because that was their maintenance building.
Right.
That's where they wanted to keep cleaners and lawnmowers and everything, but that maintenance building has air conditioning and heat now, which is kind of interesting. Very interesting.
Did they pull permits for that?
No,
No.
their permit's expired.
Yeah, everything's expired on that part for a year.
Well, permits expire after 6 months, but no
But
township.
The building
owns it.
was built to be a maintenance, not a,
But,
Venue.
okay.
Exactly.
Appreciate
that's
it,
a-
John.
A few days to
Okay.
get some more
Yeah,
days.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Jill.
so much for coming out.
No, I'm always
Yeah.
happy to help.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need anything, and I'll see you not before October. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yep.
Be safe.
Yep,
Too.
will do.
Okay, right for proposals for the township hall.
Can we bring a few things up beforehand, because I assumed that this, we were gonna, I mean, initially when we talked about this work session, we were gonna walk over there,
We can?
but,
I assessed on my way in a lean-to like the Bowman's Club that I want to propose.
okay, one sec, let's deal with a couple of other things before we actually need to change.
You mean close out here and
location.
then we can leave right from there?
That kinda makes sense,
I'm down with
doesn't it? Okay, cause I wanna add a couple of things to the discussion here. First off, I did get a quote from, Griffin Pest Solutions after having her come out and assess everything. She submitted a nice full color, setup here on the front of the building where we're having bird issues, and identified the areas that were problematic. They did do a proposal for basically the netting that would be required to stop nesting and roosting in there, because that's a constant issue. It is a little more expensive than I had hoped, so if we were going to do something like that, it would have to be after we fixed up the wear that is out there, either coating the wood or something, because we have some rot going on on the overhang. I don't think that they were ever properly done on the ends. I mean, do we wanna just enclose it? Cause frankly, the netting, that they wanna do just for the awning, they want $3,300, which I think is insane. So would it be easier for us
Just
to enclose it so that there's no place for them to nest or roost up there as part of, rehab? It'd probably be comparable in price and get us a lot more time.
Oh yeah, they could pole barn steal it for Christ's sakes.
Yeah,
Put a
we
couple
just need
lights on
to,
and
A
It'd be clean.
33,000, 3,300.
3,300.
So $3,300.
$300.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, to stop you from having little friends.
But that said, you'll live. That said, she did
I
make
won't.
some other comments. She did walk the whole building, and I had talked to her about upgrading the services. Because, one, we had talked a little bit about exterior rodent devices to stop them before they get in. That's $5 per device per month. She would recommend 2 per building. She said cleaning up the items stored against the backside of the fire department will not only help reduce hiding places for rodents, but it will also make it so you can mow closer to the building and reduce the organic matter against the building. I did have a conversation with Steve about that. He said most of their stuff is in the trailer. He said they would get to it. Apparently there's some stuff out there that belongs to the township, some archery stuff. I don't know what all is buried in that mass, but probably would behoove us to clean that up. They do have the possibility, which kind of late in the season now, to do an exterior treatment for the spiders on both buildings. We did have to do powder before, because Dennis couldn't keep up with the spiders. He'd get rid of them all and they'd all come right back. There was a lot of spiders this year. But she did say if we chose to do that would help with the other pests that the spiders are feeding on and help to reduce the spider population. New windows in the community building will help address some of the bug issues that you are seeing inside. Again, the windowsills. The current window screens do not sit flush anymore and leave a gap that insects, including spiders, can get inside through. So that's part of the reason why we haven't been able to keep that clean. So, but that was, it was very thorough what she did. Obviously, another thing that would be helpful would be actually trimming all of the overgrown landscaping over by the bulk water. It's insane. It's not as bad up here. It just looks bad up here. We also have the patio logs out here that are rotting away.
They use the wrong ones.
in-
I got a guy working on that with the cleanup.
okay.
So
So I mean, so there's a few
this
things
is all
that we
going to
need
be
to look
spring
in.
stuff.
Yeah.
We might be able to do the demo in the fall if we figure it out, but all this stuff will be coming spring, landscaping and everything.
I mean,
else.
honestly, I think even if we could just hack some off some of these because
Yes.
they're so overgrown and they're up against the building.
Well, they are, and I did ask Dan to do the gutters
Okay.
for with the water coming, and he said he would handle it. So, and I might even get with him and come down and lift the trees off the buildings. So if you see that and they're a little bit more airier, that's going to be me.
Okay.
That's something I can do when I like to do.
You need a chainsaw?
No, I got both on everything, baby. You
Well,
had a
hopefully-
question for us today?
Well, yeah, I was gonna ask about my road, and I should have come in sometime, and then my wife said, hey, there's a meeting, so. Very informative. You guys have taken the drama out of this.
Do you want us to put it back in? We can.
Yeah, you know, I
Like a NASCAR race.
Charlie hasn't gotten up and.
No.
Waved his hands and all.
Excuse me. But, you know, it's, no, very informative. Yeah, I was
Just-
I talked to I stopped and the county said it's back in your ballpark.
Yep, I got emails that show I'm waiting on a estimate just as of even last
Okay.
week. I'm waiting for an estimate because
Yeah.
we have to special assess, 7 property owners for that
Yeah.
back there. So I've talked with Emily about it as much as last week.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
So it's out
Still
there.
going?
It's just the road commission is just finalizing up their year of
Yeah.
roads right now. And actually, I have them working on Ernest Street, a bid for up there. I think
just-
there's like 5 roads that I'm
You know, I
asked.
just wanna make sure, I guess I'm gonna, that the cul-de-sac in front of us, it's gravel, always has been.
Yeah.
Is it going to be done? What rights am I gonna have or not, or am I gonna be given up? That sort of thing.
If you'd like to come in, I can,
Okay.
any day, I can share all the original Parish Brook Estates plans with you now. I have them in the office. I actually got them from my cousin who owned All Star Real Estate, and he owned that house that Emily's got, and he had the originals from Mark Skowiak. So
Nobody on the hook for the road.
Mark was on the hook for the last layer, due to doing court proceedings, but
There's a diverse.
I don't.
course yet.
Yep, I don't think that there's anything you guys are going to be able to do. But I can tell you that the road commission went over the plans, and they said that the road was built to their specifications. So
It's not anymore.
nope, there's some ditching that has to be dug out.
Everybody's filled them in.
But
The base crumbled.
the
you know.
distances that everything
Yeah.
was done off of the center line of the drains, and
Yeah.
everything has come out to be the future plans, which I think was going to go past your house, and Hugo was probably going to extend
an
the
option to-
estate,
Yeah.
estates out there. So, but nope, I can show you an
And
email.
can that still be done? Can that road go through? Can somebody,
You mean to the solar field?
yeah,
I just,
yeah, no,
If you had a developer, Bill had no problem with that being put into housing.
it'd
And he
be
saved the 66 feet to get out on Bowtel. He saved that, where the barn
that's on the
is.
north side.
Yeah, where the
But,
barn is.
You laugh about the solar farm.
I think you puked a little.
Yeah, it's gonna be a public road now.
Shame on you.
I didn't mean it.
No, this is not all stuff that I've
Well, I know you've mentioned it to me. That's
I'm like, okay, cause so now they can the solar people can just come down the road then. Not that they're gonna.
No, I
but-
think
I think
you're.
they've
I
been
think you're in a
hauled pretty
safe
good.
zone. Actually, we just got confirmed from the county. They approved our ordinances, so they'll be on our October to pass as the board, and the county and the state or the East Michigan Coastal Government Planning had to okay it too, and they just okayed it like last week too. So we passed the 2 places we had to adopt. So.
Cause I don't know, I'm almost couldn't care less about the solar farm now.
Yeah.
And if it stays private, my wife wants it public, but I couldn't care less if it gets public now either, but she wanted me to check, so here I am.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
We're proud of you.
Well, it's interesting, it's a lot of information, especially the sheriffs. Now, I know the.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
The,
First time meeting.
the ambulance people, they've got a computer program that tells them where to put an ambulance at a certain point and a certain time. And I think, if I understood it right,
Yeah.
that, and it's like, how come the sheriff's not doing that? I'm still mystified as we're all paying taxes, but yet the township is still paying taxes? We're paying twice for the sheriff's department?
You're paying for more localized care is what you're doing. There's
yes.
a general car
Paying
that
twice.
goes everywhere. Yes, you are. But
Yeah.
I will say this in defense of that service is when something happens locally, that car is closer.
It's a faster response.
It's a faster response.
So you think about it, 7 hours, 8 hours a day, he's in Cucaulin Township.
Understood.
So where our general car, maybe Frank and Les might be their general car when we have general, they'll have to leave us to go out.
Yeah, they have to respond.
And with the amount
Back
of
each
old
other.
folks we have, and car thefts out of my yard, it's nice to have
Well,
someone
you have
local.
nice cars then.
Yes, it was until they got
It
it.
was till they got it.
Can I get one of those, and then when it goes public, our road, I want one of those eyeball signs up.
Okay.
You can get one of those.
Actually, I have one
excellent.
left in my office that we went through and marked everything. But all our signs are up out on the beaches and everything. They look amazing, and the road commission dropped off one extra sign for the public. But
Yeah.
I
So your
think
neighborhood might even be able to end up with one.
You play your cards.
I tell you what, if I could, if it wasn't for the grandkids, I'd be in Florida. No, I don't. Oh, you want me to put that up?
Put it in your window. Sheriff likes him, we like him.
I don't hear.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, leave it.
You don't want a bullet-ridden house.
they got to make it back out Parish
Everybody
Brook
has
if they
cameras.
do.
There's not much going on that,
That doesn't get filmed.
what happened to your cameras?
I didn't have them at the time, I got them shortly after.
Better late than never.
That was,
And actually, Joel, you gave me a fantastic segue. Look at that. You gave me a fantastic segue to cameras. So thank you for that.
you have a wonderful day.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
So Solutions did provide us with an estimate for the interior cameras we talked about at our last meeting. Obviously, they're our provider for this. It's their, we got everything from them, so it's kind of, this is basically what they're gonna do. So essentially, it would increase our monthly professional fee by $14 to add 2 additional cameras. And the total for the cameras is $1965.22.
Install.
Yes, they would be installing these. It's pretty easy installation because it's interior. Initially, when he gave me the bid, he said that they could probably have an appointment for us at the end of October. By the time we are able to discuss it at the October meeting, we might be as far out as late November.
Which is fine.
So, but it was actually less expensive than I had anticipated.
No,
it would
I
do.
thought 3 to 5, so
Yeah.
we're doing good.
So
Yeah, it's not
video
bad.
and sound, or no?
I think it's gonna be the same as our,
Yeah, you
Why
can't
not
have
front?
sound in interior. It's eavesdropping.
Just asking.
Yep, I'm
And
just
I just
telling
didn't
you.
know.
Just
when-
the
Just
meeting
telling
they
you.
were talking about.
When it gets closer, I don't know if we want to put it at that end facing this way or this end facing that way for the
I
hallway.
think if
To
we
the
go
back door.
I think if we go back.
So it
to
covers the back door?
front,
I think that and this way and
Yeah. Well, and this
I
one,
actually
not
think-
so much on Genie, just the front counter. You're looking at the front counter.
you should be able to see all the entrances with the other one. Even
Yeah.
how's this? You had spoken about the dog coming in and stuff. We need to be able to see who's
Well-
coming in, what, where.
Well, I thought that's the
when.
front one would cover these 3. So I didn't know if you wanted to cover this way to the back door or this way forward.
It'd be interesting to see what solution it says.
Yeah, let's see what they
Yeah,
say.
I talked to him a little bit about placement. I think he was thinking at the end shooting forward because
Yeah.
then it's gonna give you the whole view,
All the way
right?
down. Yeah.
And then we.
And
had
you would
kinda
see
had a
if someone broke
conversation
it.
in the lobby.
Usually, when you walk in buying it, Public Works, you catch the top of their head almost instantly when they're inside the doorway.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to let Kayla talk about the payroll.
Yeah, ADP doesn't have it yet. Did you end up talking to ADP
I did
at all?
not. I did not yet.
Basically-
Girls, what's Chris doing? What's his name, Chris?
Chris?
It was Chris.
I think
It got
moved to-
taken over
yeah,
by
no,
somebody
Trevor.
else
Trevor.
already. Yep, Trevor took it over.
Oh, Trevor.
Basically saying that the way I'm hearing it, and is the best way I can explain it to you guys, is I can't just give them the hours for have them put it in the I'm still gonna have to go through each account, pull everybody's money, and then I can put it into one account, and then they can pay it. But I can't. Like, they're not going to go and pay this person out of firefighter, pay this person for a board member,
they don't
pay
get
this
into our
person
books.
for, no.
Well, because we got BSNA.
Well, you say
But
that like
that's-
that's an option.
No, it's just, that's a system of which
So,
we,
as of
Most
right,
government entities do BSNA.
so,
correct.
Right.
so as of right now, they are taking away zero stress from me. They are making my workload not any smaller than what it would be if using them is not going to reduce the amount of time I work on payroll.
So
If that makes sense.
would have the $15,000 company been able to go into our BSNA?
They would have pulled each person's payroll from the direct account that we pay them from. Instead of me having to go into each person, figure out each hours, pull that out of an account, put that, there's so much journalizing and everything, it's easier for me to do payroll. And I'm starting to learn it now, but it's still so much on my
in our
plate.
defense, in the greater good, we talked about this because Sherry couldn't handle it and was failing. We thought anybody before Sherry didn't have the firemen weren't getting paid, and that's what originally started this ball rolling. Is we couldn't count on her to do payroll again. And like I said, if Chris wouldn't have lied to us, thank you, Chris. I thought it'd get you off rolling, and we all ultimately talked about you taking it back within a year, anyways, or so forth. But it was a means to end with Sherry, is what started the ball rolling, and I didn't know it would be. Like I said, I thought they would sign right in, like they would have a user.
Honestly, the amount of accounting that I am doing is crazy for not being formally taught as an accountant. It's wild.
I get you.
Well,
That's
yeah.
that's,
the clerk.
that's the clerk, and the only
Right.
problem with that is, government books are just so detailed,
Yes.
so detailed.
And there's
So they could take it all.
Your money and my money comes out of
multiple
trustees,
accounts.
Yeah.
and each of them have an assigned account, and you have so much special help you can have. I remember Greg never did payroll. Molly did the payroll, and she'd be done with the payroll in like an hour.
Well,
But when I'm getting frustrated.
So here, maybe part of that question would be, would it behoove us to talk to a local university and find somebody that needs co-op that's studying accounting, and let them, come on to be able to help in that capacity, because they would be able to supplement and help you.
so
Because
Nobody-
I gotta tell you something, when it comes down to paying $20,000 basically, cause I know that you Winelander net, by the time it's done, it'll cost $20,000. Guaranteed, cause they tell you whatever you're told, take into account at least a 20% cushion.
Okay, so here's the thing. We need to be better using the tools we have. The payroll system through BSNA is tied into everything. It takes the money exactly out of where it needs to come out of. The account that we've had for years at Independent Bank is for the net proceeds that we pay out in payroll. We are paying out net proceeds, we're paying out approximately $30,000 a month in payroll. So I have to supplement that account to make sure that we can cover all of those payroll checks. The last time I did that, I put $300,000 in there. And I knew that probably was not gonna float us all the way, you know.
It's
I-
10 months roughly.
And they used to put 270,000 in, I had to put 300,000. And I know it's not gonna cover it, so we have a runaway payroll system, that's another aspect. However, if you utilize BSNA properly, it does all of that accounting for you. The issue that we're having isn't in the process of doing paychecks. It's an understanding of the bigger picture when it comes to withholding, making sure that the forms are proper, making sure that the money is being taken out properly, because I know Brad and I both are not having our federal taken out properly.
And that's
None
why
of us
I was
are,
hoping at some point when these things were gonna get taken over and everything, that all this would be straightened up for everybody.
But it's
And-
easy to straighten up. All you've gotta do is have new forms and actually have an understanding of BSNA payroll and actually put the information in, and it does it.
And it's
for
been
you.
done so many times, Lori, that I can't even put somebody's hours in and it give me a calculation of. I put in 108 hours for Steve Burnrider. It gave me a check for 88 cents.
Okay, but have you
Like-
had BSNA walk with you through it to fix
What-
that? BSNA has specific people that
What?
just
I don't.
do payroll.
Yeah.
They just do payroll. They will sit there on the phone with you and they will go into your system and they will show you how everything works and where some of the issues are. That's where we have to start. Even that last conversation with Greg regarding where he said that $18,000 that wasn't paid in
Doing it
state
right.
withholding was stuck. I don't even know what that means, but he apparently talked to BSNA and they said it was stuck, but then nothing ever happened after that to be able to get that out of the equation so that it works
I'm
properly
just
for
being
state
lazy, that's
withholding.
why.
Well,
Trying to frustrate you.
No, it's-
Well,
Your job is
I
the
will-
worst job
There's
here.
ways we can work with
I'll
that.
say this: we had
Getting any
a
better at it either.
we had a guy who's got 40 years in Dow, and he's been the deputy clerk at Hope Township. And he came in Friday and sat with us, and everything he asked Kayla to do, he's like, she knew what she was doing. But things that Kayla was asked to do or Greg was asked to do in the past were not correct. So a bunch of the entries on a color-coded piece of paper ended up being all wrong.
Excuse me?
No. The entries that I was doing mean
The
nothing on my
reversed and-
side. Right. So that's what I'm saying. It means absolutely nothing to me.
It took them in Hope Township with that 40-year account 18 months to reconcile. 18 months. We can't ask 4 months out of a new clerk.
We don't have four
We
months
didn't
of it,
ask
but
that.
We have 15 years of experience backing her. That's what worries me, is you were trained by someone, and I think Greg's a nice guy, and always got a hold of him. But I thinking something's being missed with 15 years of experience, and the only common denominator that we have is a lady named Molly that I've ever met. I don't think you're not capable of it. I don't think you're not smart enough, and I get you're frustrated. I really do. Every one of these people are self-taught. These two are the only ones that can remotely even say to you, I get it. He got handed nothing but hand grenades. She got no training, and they've worked through it to now, and I'm okay with you working through it to now. We're not mad at you. No one's upset at you.
I'm upset. That
I
I mean,
know
like
you are.
honestly,
She was told that help was coming with, she had Wylander Fitzhugh's owner sitting
Yeah.
with her, going through with Greg what she was finding. And what did Amy say? I can get this fixed. I can get this fixed. But she had to make sure that she was getting stuff from the state because there was agreements with the township that she had to FOIA from the state because we couldn't produce those documents.
Yeah.
So then she did the work. And I mean, even in the minutes, it shows that we were trying. I think the first estimate from Weinlander in December, or no, it wasn't December, it was like February, was like $1,300, and it went up $200, and we can't have it because it went up $200 for 6 months. I think 6 months would give her the explanation of what she needs to go
I
forward.
was waiting a lot on that explanation too for a lot of stuff that I want to work on, and I never got it, and I didn't get it from ADTP. And problem is I don't know what your job concludes of. He don't know what your job concludes of. She don't know what your job concludes of. The best person for your job is you.
Well, the best person for the job is, we start asking people like the county clerk. We have had several clerks that are no longer clerks. And if we gotta clean up a mess, then maybe it's time to contemplate bringing in a clerk. For whatever the reason, there's a name in the back of my head, Santos, because I knew Santos at one time. No longer, she's retired out of where she was at. She understands the clerk's office. And then that would be like on the job training to assist, like when Molly would walk in and do the payroll, or, God forbid something happens. But, we got to make sure we can get into everything that's in that office. I have every intent of taking training for BSNA, as I want to know where we're at and how that is actually supposed to function. But the moral of the story is, if we go and we talk, like when I mentioned about an election and we didn't have the training under our belt and stuff right now, other people said they would help us. If we want to be a sinking island, we can be a sinking island. If we want to be our own nation, we can be our own nation. Or we can say, hey, you know what, Janet, or not Janet, but the county clerk, Katie, do you have a couple phone numbers I could get from you? And actually, I think
it's not just having that, because that's what Brad was saying. The things that he was asking me to do, I was doing them. It's having a forensic accountant taking himself almost a year to get one township put back straight together. Like, it's gonna take me a second.
Hold on, here. Let me tell you the number one thing that I think you took, and myself. The best part about Hope Township, they use our same auditor. Okay, I've been in this office, been hearing what Darcy's asked us to do, and saying, hearing, don't do that. I wouldn't do that. Well, guess what Chuck said?
do it.
Do every single thing Darcy says. He's known her for years, and she's right on. She gets paid to do that.
Yeah.
She is the one who can make your books. And she's came into their offices and helped them for days.
Yeah.
And they're a township that has 600 people, not 4,700.
Yeah.
So when we get told not to go and ask for help to the right people and don't trust what Darcy's saying, that's not right.
I've not said that.
Yeah,
You haven't.
Said that.
You have.
I have never said that.
Bull.
I have never said that. I have said check with Darcy. I've told Greg to check with Darcy.
I've said
what
call
I said was
BSNA
check with her
and
because
talk
I
to
don't
them.
know about the auditing stuff
We
because
pay
I've
for
never done it
that
before.
service.
I've never had a problem. I talk to Darcy frequently, as a matter of fact. I ask her advice about how I need to do things. I don't know where
So
that
Darcy
comes
is,
from.
I heard it right out of your mouth.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Well, the
There's
truth
a lot
is
of
not,
things.
the
Don't worry,
truth
the
is
truth's
not
in a
here.
camera.
I have never said anything. I like Darcy.
Be okay.
I use Darcy. I don't even know what you're talking about.
So anyways, I think that Kayla has done an amazing job trying to get things in order.
No, I think you saying that is implying that other people don't think you've done a good job. It's not that.
We're not questioning.
We're all
whether
just
you did
talking
it or not.
how to get you what you need to succeed. And I'm sorry I kiboshed the $15,000 thing or $13,000. I just couldn't. But if they had access, I'll call that lady tomorrow. I will make a motion to approve it as long as she gets access to BSNA and everything's fixed.
But here's the other side of the coin. So you go talk to the county clerk. She gets us a retired clerk to come in there and help us, and we pay $5,000-$6,000, and we get everything cooking, and then there's no questions asked, and we can be self-sufficient. Which one works better?
Aren't we trying to with just Weinlander Fitzhugh for 6 months?
Well, right now we're locking for a year for 13. But here's the thing.
We had a motion for 6.
Just like everything else, we did. We committed it, but we committed the 15 was for the year, or the 13 was for the year.
But
It was for the year.
we made a
and we
motion.
did talk. We're not mad at you.
I know. I'm frustrated within myself, for one. Hands down. 2, I'm just saying, I don't want to make bigger problems trying to fix something that might just be growing pains. I don't know the difference between knives to my backs and growing pains right now. I don't know.
I've told
Like,
everybody
I-
here, your job is the worst one to have.
It is.
The most
And that's
I
labor,
literally-
mental intensive
All
one.
I can do, y'all, is just come to work every single day and give y'all 110% and try and do my absolute very best. And guess what? If you guys need a better clerk, please put out it in the paper.
No,
Try and get somebody in here that's a forensics accountant to work for this amount of money. I really just try. Like, because I can't do any better. I really have given you guys, I've proven to you guys this is all I can do. And I'm really trying. And, like, I know I screwed up this safety, special safety thing, and I didn't post it all. This one should be all good. It should be
We
all
did get mailers
posted.
out too.
I have confirmation that they have been, they went out. So,
She
I-
worked with the attorney
It's-
through
it's
all
not-
of it.
I'm,
But I
You
gotta
can
tell you
always
something.
call.
You just
And
talked
then
about, we're talking
I
to the
know,
lawyer
it's-
about everything, and we gotta back up a step.
I'm just saying, y'all keep on saying ask for help, ask for help, ask for help, and then every time I do it ends up being like a lot of energy around it, and it makes it be even.
But here, what Charlie's saying is if we could bring somebody that has actual clerk experience, that's more than just payroll.
Somebody
I
that's done
understand.
30 years of
That's-
experience
with more
working
than
with
just
BS&A
Right.
is the person we wanna bring in here.
Yes,
And then we
bring
can go
them in,
and
hire
see.
them, please.
You know,
to
and
work with you, to make you
Yes.
better.
we just want to see this.
There's a hell of a learning curve. It's the most safest, underpaid, all of them are. It's not you.
Well, I think one of the things, and we are in a work session, that we need to always keep in mind is that each board member needs to be kept informed just what is happening.
Yeah, who's been keeping it?
Well, you know what, I make phone calls and then when I get the information, you know, it's like, I mention what I get. Like, I was told today, speaking with a lawyer, that, you know, there's no such thing as workshops in state of Michigan municipal law. Because if the whole board is together, it's either a special meeting or it's a scheduled meeting. And if it's one or the other, it's legal. And if it's not, it's not. And I'm just,
Well, it's posted on the website. I posted it
It's
on
not
the
nothing.
board.
It's not
no,
nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just, this
It's
has
not.
nothing to do with you. No, this is nothing. That's
It
not
has to do with my wording, I guess, on an agenda.
Here's the thing it's not a big deal. We're all here and we're all
And
making a
many
difference.
townships have work sessions monthly
I
prior
just-
to the meeting.
I
Many
thought
of
I
them.
heard them.
Before I made that agenda, I went through and most of them put a time limit on how much. So I put a time limit
Yeah.
up and Lori's best friend called me out on Facebook.
Well, I was a little. I was like, holy shit, his times are way off. If you you didn't make time out. And then I said to Jocelyn, and she's like, well, you want to kind of reel it in a little bit. She says because sometimes if you don't put a time on it, remember the runaway you guys had last time, and you didn't get to touch 10 things. So I left it and I moved on. Guys, you don't. We should all be able to talk to each other.
but see, that's what's not happening.
We should.
That really is what's not.
And
And
even
that's the
on a
number one
professional
problem.
level, we gotta figure out how to make this roll a little smoother. And I'm sorry, but you're trapped in the middle of it because we got two people that are.
And please do not take me with tears in my eyes of me trying to grab sympathy or
No.
something. I can't control it. Okay,
No,
like
it's
I'm
alright.
really.
You're
called
completely
soft-hearted.
fine.
Nobody's judging that at all.
I'm not trying to grab sympathy or be like, oh, you guys didn't give me my payroll. You know what I mean? Like that.
No,
I honestly want help.
I
I
was-
honestly want to know how to do stuff. But every time I ask, I get a laundry list of things that I have to do before I get that help, and the help never comes. Okay, so it's just really frustrating for me every time I ask for help. It's almost like, oh, you want help? Go bring in all those groceries, and then maybe I'll cook you some dinner. You know what I mean? And then it's like I always bring in groceries, and then I'm trying to bring in, but I never get all the groceries in, so I never get dinner. And it's just like I'm just like, okay, but I have other things to do. I still gotta rock the baby. I still gotta let the dogs out. So, you know, like all these things that I gotta do for the clerk. And then it's like, oh, you want help? Go bring in the groceries. It's like I don't have time. Like I'm like I'm concentrating on something else, and then I was like I don't know. It's just like I'm frustrated right now, but I really do think, like, yes, no, there's a lot of things that are messed up. It's gonna take me a little bit to figure it all out. I'm trying.
Some of it, the entire board has to take an action to clean up, such as having 600 GLs, most of them inactive.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's a
so
mess in there to
crazy.
but that is something that the board has to make an action, and that might mean having Darcy come in to
I
help
would
us
love
clean that
that.
up.
I would love
We can
that.
absolutely do that, but one thing that you need to understand is, as the clerk, your best resource is another clerk, because they can help you with all of the myriad of things that are in your position. It is
Or a Molly.
I've told her that many times. That's why I go to the sessions I do where supervisors go.
You guys, we all have evolved, and you will be too. We just got 6 months on you.
I'm just proud that y'all got paid today. That's all I
Hey,
have to
You
say.
did a good job.
It is. It's not that. You don't think it's. We want you to have tools, and I kiboshed the 13. I was the main reason, but I didn't know. Like I said, I seen stuff. I seen a cheaper price, 2 that were similar, and I thought it was just plug and play. But I don't know your job either, so I apologize.
They use ADP in Hope Township. It does work, but it can't be used with BSNA.
Oh, they don't have BSNA.
Well, they do,
They do.
but they have to have another account for payroll.
Okay.
And that's where this
It's not
whole thing
attached
came
to
up.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a separate account where we have the payroll account, but that's for the net checks.
Well, I didn't know if they let anybody into it. Like at the city, there's certain tiers. Like I don't get into.
We have,
A lot of
he
BSNA in the
claimed
city.
we have a very complex
Yeah.
BSNA. It's not the same as theirs even, but it works the same for their simplistic township, but ours has many different categories that you can utilize and stuff.
Well, Jay loves it. I don't get it.
But each,
And it's a love-hate.
each municipality has different.
Well, and it's love hate, and they went to this new cloud one with us. It screwed up everybody. Now
The
more
cloud's
hate,
completely different.
more hate.
They-
But
They
I'm
have
just
the
telling
cloud. They
you,
have the cloud.
That
and
is
I don't
completely
know the cloud even from what I did know. I can't even do a rec anymore at work.
Yeah.
So you gotta realize, and I get it, but we're behind you, okay? And I'm sorry on the payroll thing. I might have fucked that up. I
It's
apologize.
not one individual thing.
I think it's fixable. It's just a matter of,
Calling
you
Chris
know,
first.
well, no, I mean, the county clerk comments about these other people that are not doing it, and they haven't been out of those positions long enough to lose the skill.
The knowledge.
So bring somebody like that in here, and in 5 to 6 months, instead of having it all gone, have it all be
Yeah, so
functioning. Let's put some grease on the gears so they stop blinking as they move.
No, how do we
Because
go about
nobody
setting that
here-
up?
Nobody here can help you with elections. Nobody here can help you with that. None of us have that responsibility. You need somebody that's actually done it themselves, that can kind of give you the pitfalls and what the requirements actually are. I mean, we talked about that a while ago, and I asked you if you had found out what you need to do to be certified, because I don't know what you have to do to be certified. I don't know what that requirement is. I have no reason to know it, frankly, but you still have to be certified because there's 4 elections next year. So, I don't know what that takes, but it's obviously something that has to remain in front of us to make sure that we're legitimate come
Well-
February. So, you have to talk to the people that are in that same orbit, because
Have you made
we
friends
don't
with
know
anybody
that.
of any one of them yet? Clerk wise?
Nope.
You have any you're interested in being friends with? You can reach out to?
Can I get you?
I don't know anybody. I know Brian
all of them
Taylor.
work full-time jobs.
Besides
I
us,
mean,
I know Brian
The
Taylor
smaller
and
townships
who's the
that
guy
make
that my daughter shoots
but-
bow with?
the bigger ones.
Well,
He's
that one left Saginaw
House?
Township retired out of there because that was a bigger job than they wanted. And if we could get that person to come here and
well,
help
let's
us,
band together and see if
That
we
would
can
be-
find her some help
you know,
on that aspect too. But we do need to get the. We didn't pay DPT.
give them no
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
VP, no.
Well, we need to get a phone call into them or figure it out if we're gonna not or not. But
Take that money and let's get a local retired out of office clerk to come in. Cause the good news is, for say, if she's in Bangor or wherever, she can work here. She can't run for election here. Or if she's in Monitor or Thomas.
yeah, we can pay her for
You
a time.
know.
And that's and like, get me wrong, I've got along with Greg great, but I asked him the question twice. I got a check once and it was 48% Social Security out of it.
So it was an $80 check down to $46. And I says, guys, what's the deal? Is this gonna be consistent? Well, we can't, we tried to pay you here, the same thing you told me, we can't put it on the same check, but you fixed. Since.
Yeah.
You've evolved. From 15 years of experience, you fixed.
Yeah, you're ahead of the ball.
Not knowing anything. You know what I'm saying? You fixed. So it's possible. And I says to him, yeah, but am I ever gonna get that money back? Well, when you retire, when you get Social Security, you get it back. I says, how did that happen? I don't know. I just put the numbers in, and this is what we
Because
got.
BSNA is so jacked up.
I know that.
It's so jacked up.
But you
It's like-
fixed it.
Well, that was my pension payment.
But you did. You get what I'm saying? Never had another complaint since you've been doing my payroll. I haven't had a
So
The only thing I've ever messed up on payroll is I short it burn writer.
So BSNA can give you very intensive assistance on that because they know it so well. I mean, they will go on your computer and there's been a few times they'll do something, I'm like, whoa, how did you just do that? Because there's shortcuts you don't know. And it's not like you
And
get
they
a
have
book that
remote
says, here's
access.
all the shortcuts, or you don't get that.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden there's shortcuts where they go somewhere else and you're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I needed. How did you get there? I was doing it the hard way. They can help you because they have all that experience and they work in it every day. And that can actually streamline that process. I don't think for what I've seen that the payroll application is all that complicated. What's complicated is what's happening in the background that they set up with
Right.
you.
Yes.
And I think that's all jacked up.
It is.
But I don't know how to fix that because I don't do payroll. But they
It's
do.
me sitting on the phone for 3 days with BSNA.
If you schedule a time, they will call you and
I
they
know,
will
but that's,
one-on-one.
it took me 3 days to even get one thing fixed on BSNA.
Well, maybe with getting it, maybe if we look into another clerk that knows it, that's had some.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe we try that. Are you against trying that happening?
No,
Okay.
I'm not against trying anything. I just, it's
Brandy
hard.
Krause, that's who she shoots with, sorry. I just
Yeah.
thought I was going crazy. But that's the only two other politicians I know besides Timmy. and he
He's
doesn't do
registered
anything.
of deeds.
Yes, he's not even a,
So,
you don't have to be elected for that?
would you like me
No, but he's not a
to
clerk.
get you a
Oh.
phone number for
No,
that
but I
one
mean, that's the only people
individual?
I know besides you guys.
Sure,
In the business.
anybody who,
Because I'll get the phone number.
cause I'm a good learner.
Listen,
I mean, that's the thing, if somebody
we're
shows
not
me
mad.
something, I remember it, I do it
Yeah.
again, I do it correctly, like, that's, you know, but it's like I said, it's just growing pains.
Well,
I don't know
and-
until I know.
I
Sadly,
gave
I
a
don't
lady
know a wall is there, and it's like every single time I don't know a wall is there until I'm like literally smacking it
Getting
with my
hit with it.
face, and it's just one after another, and it's really stressful.
Cause if
Like,
we can
I'm
get you a
really
helper
stressed
that's
out.
an asset and knows the BSNA and
Right, and
has
that
been
are on
involved in
cloud,
this for
and
over
that-
30
that's another
years,
thing too.
and
half
they know
the-
just what
Different.
to do
Half-
to make
half of them don't use cloud, and then the other half of them are
this
don't
cloud
even
thing
use
is gonna be a
BSNet.
nightmare,
So
because I just
have,
got
like,
new
maybe
billing
two
and
people that's
crying
ever
out
even
loud, the
knows
new
how to-
billing's $150 a year for
But-
cloud.
I gave a lady a
Anyway,
dog
so-
kennel to come and have one.
Well,
Yeah.
so I think that if you talk with
What else did I do
BSNA,
wrong?
it might be a
We did that meeting wrong where we didn't open and close it twice.
That would be amazing.
You
But
know what?
I don't know for
It's
sure.
called
Yeah.
being
Some-
human. Some
something's
people are
triggered
above
in my
human.
mind that that's a
It is.
possibility.
Well, some people are
So
better
we
at
can
it.
at least check in on that, but I mean, I've been able to get them on the phone and ask them additional questions while I'm talking to them. I was talking to the lady with the paycheck issue, right? Like that Windows 10, Windows 11, like how would you
Yeah.
know that was gonna happen? And when I was talking to her, I said, hey, do you know anything about this? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. And she just opened up a new ticket. We just kept talking while she was in my system showing me things. And I mean, that's how you gather the information. But see, some of it when you're really new, you don't.
How do I know what to
It
ask?
just don't make
no,
sense.
Hold on. You
That's
don't have a
That's the
framework
reality.
yet.
Yeah.
That's the
So,
only
like, there's
reason.
stuff
Well,
that
you
she
wait.
shows me
I wanna
now
take that
where I'm
course.
like,
I want
if
you
I would've
to.
learned
I've
Because
that
if-
taken it.
month,
if
I
we
would've been
said-
like,
They'll
oh,
just
whatever.
make you
But now
dumber.
I'm like, oh,
It's the
that
worst.
makes sense to me now. It
Yeah,
takes a
it's
little
like
Because
you
it's
don't
a-
have
I-
a button to stick it
BSNA
yet. You don't
is
have
a-
like a
it's a
compartmentalize, you don't
circus
have
is what it is.
Some of it takes
Well,
a
it's set
little
up for
time,
government. It's
but-
set up to
It's
defy
like-
the
it's like
odds.
We did-
backwards is
The
what-
zoning board did the same meeting twice.
Yeah,
and
it's
we
to
forgot
defy
to
what
open
it
and
should
close
be.
it both times.
Well, it's.
We
Because I took
opened it
accounting for
pledged,
years, but the
But then we
problem
didn't
is,
know about the, you
if
have
they
to
set
set
it up-
open session A, B, and C.
when I was in
Twice.
programming computers, and
4
they told
weeks
me,
apart.
this is what you
And I
gotta
was like,
learn.
why
And
are
I
we
said,
doing
no,
this again?
I'm
Well,
never
you
gonna program
technically
a
done it. I said,
computer,
technically, this
so I
is
don't
the
need
third
to
time.
know
And
that.
that's why
It's
we're
good
doing
to
dress
know,
rehearsals like this
but-
now.
That's why
only
we're
for certain
talking.
things.
And,
will you
and
ever
I'm gonna
need
tell
it.
you the same thing I told these guys. I hope that this gets to the point that it's so streamlined for all three of you that 32 hours is like, Jesus, I don't have nothing to fill my 32 hours. Are you following me? It will.
Yeah.
It will. He's gotten substantially better at it. He lived here for 3 months. He had a cot set up.
But I regretted the 3 months.
Yes.
Because
Don't
I
live here.
lost the one thing that mattered in those 3 months. It's called family time.
Yep. And I don't want you to be married to it, but we'll get you whatever help we need. And like I said, the other one, when we started apples to apples, and it turns out it wasn't apples to apples. No, we keep learning. The sheriff thing we learned tonight. I just thought it was 10%. I was excited about 10%. But when he come out and talked, it makes perfect sense. And he's
We
an
actually
nice
have a
guy.
lot more than 10%.
Are we still need to walk over to the hall?
If everybody wants to, or we can push it back another month
I think that everybody could get ideas rounded up.
and bring them.
And how's this? It don't matter if we're meeting in twos
Yeah.
over there and stuff. I think that things should start streamlining over there with ideas.
I like
think that we could really put a lot of ideas together, everybody, and then have that.
Yes. I'll tell you what I'll do tonight is I'll start an email. Can we do an email
One
chat
thing,
of that?
no,
Technically,
No, not with all of us.
No.
We can't do no.
but there is certain things like that we need, and that is for contractors that actually want work to show up.
Yes, specs.
And not give us 50 grand bids.
Well, you'd be
But there's
surprised.
no, there was a reason for that
No,
50
that's-
grand bid.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now what the reason for that 50 grand bid was, and that's to get back at us. You'll
Yeah.
receive an email, Brian, and I'm only bringing this up because it's not a decision to be made, but Tom Landa called me. The Penixes are gonna,
Let us out.
our insurance company has agreed to pay partial and possibly the XLC for $28,000.
What's XLC?
That's
The cabins.
Cabins.
Oh.
This is the lawsuit that
Yeah.
these two went to mediation on.
Well,
It could
that's
be over.
better.
It could be
That's
over.
better.
Yeah.
Because they were saying at best maybe 20 when we all were meeting together.
Like we do
If-
10
if-
and they do 10.
If they would have
It's
done,
in your email.
the hypothetical
I'll open
of
up
the
tonight.
day was if they would do a 350, okay, be the agreed amount, but the
Yeah, they didn't
XL
come close to
if
that.
The
If
other,
XLC would have then said, we'll pay only 330, and then our insurance would have paid the 20,000 and made it whole, but they came in at 150.
Yeah.
the only other thing that has to be spoke of legalities is that the fire ordinance. Lori responded to him today because Charlie was mentioned in there as being the person to go over the fire millage, and I didn't think that sounded correct either. Do you believe it was Sam that went for the?
I said it was Sam. Sam's the one that sent the email. Sam's the one that had the contact with the attorney's office. There's no way you would have went to Shepherd and said, write us an order.
No,
So-
You know,
they
write
went,
us a
Sam
resolution.
went there, and then the catch
So-
of that whole thing,
So I think that if there was one thing I questioned in the whole thing, that was the only thing. Other than
we got the video, I had her send
other
it.
than you guys,
I
the
sent that.
final
You saw me.
amount to ask for, and please just email me something.
Well,
You
we were
have to
thinking
talk.
2 years, right?
Just, you're not gonna get it, but I
But
think
yeah,
you
I
should
would
go
ask
for
for
it.
2 years,
Yeah,
and
ask
then the
for it.
legal
Ask for the
And
one to
and
start.
and the legal fees.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shutting it off.
I don't-
So that's what,
So let's get all our information back by Monday. 3 things. The renter's agreement.
Yeah.
Let's, now we don't have to shoot the thing, we're gonna, Paul, but we can work on it separately. Because our hall never goes.
It looks absolutely stunning.
I just had that stupid key.
alright, I'm hitting it. Way to stick up for yourself.
She's gonna have a hairy, scary buddy.
She will. She likes
Not
me.
good at it.
No, they got that place decorated in the hill.
You guys have a nice night.
Yep, you guys too.
Charles, you got your van back?
No, it goes back to farm. They missed them.
I bought a real van.
Yeah, get this.
It's still.
Engine lights on. It's jerks at 30 to 40, and now today it's jerking at 55.
That's what I'm worried about when they did mine.
Well, that's when Charlie took me for a ride in it, and it just sits there like the torque converter.
You know what I'm saying? They never, old cars, swap it out, motor block, build, cam, they do what they're supposed to. This stuff,
Hey, they got physicals going on if anybody wants to cough.
are they doing prostate? Yeah. You're up for prostate check.
All right, have a good evening.